What's good, family? It's the Mound Builder back with you for Mound Building Monday. And this Monday, we want to deal with the topic of healing, a time for healing. There's a lot of things going on right now that's challenging a lot of us with our health, with our thinking, with our approach to spirituality. We're dealing with a lot on all of those levels. And so right now is really a time for healing. It's important because we have to understand that everything that we deal with physically starts spiritually first. So the first thing that we want to do is deal with these issues on the spiritual level, on the mental level, so that by the time it gets to the physical level, it's not something that we have to deal with in our bodies. So again, every physical malady, disease, illness that we're confronted with starts with a spiritual illness or sickness. So we want to begin to correct that in this time of healing. How do we begin to correct from that level? The first thing we have to understand and that we have to look at is the concepts, the ideas, and the way that we've been approaching what we call spirituality, religion, and what have you is really beginning to fade away. It's time to move that forward into something different so that we can produce some very different results. It's sort of like when you've been working at something for so long and things begin to shift, and that point or that foundation that you've been working from shifts, but you're still working from that foundation and you're not getting those same results because something has shifted and you haven't moved with the shift. That's what we're experiencing right now. We haven't pivoted onto the new foundation, so we're still operating from an old operating system, speaking in computer terms. How do we fix that? We fix that by aligning ourselves spiritually, psychologically, mentally with this new alignment of our divine. And we do that by meditation, concentration, prayer, whatever name or label you want to assign to that particular act or discipline. That spiritual alignment helps us to remain in a state of good health and well-being. Misalignment causes us to experience things like fear, anguish, challenges, uncertainty, unworthiness, stress, and these things begin to play out in the organs of our body, causing failure, causing sickness, causing the buildup of inflammation and mucus, causing us to experience sickness on a whole nother level. And then we have to go and heal or cure that. Well, now is that time for the healing and the curing, but it starts at the spiritual level. And then we can deal with it and address it from the physical level. We can work backwards and begin to deal with what we're experiencing physically. But if it's not corrected spiritually, then weeks down the line, months down the line, it'll come back and boomerang back to us in an even more intense way. So we want to begin to look at these things from the spiritual level, from the mental level, and then address it in the physical existence, in our physical body, so that we can have a holistic healing process, not just one part, because we are spirit, we are mind, we are body. We're all three. And if we're just looking at addressing one, then we're missing the other two, and that's why we're not completely healed. As a holistic healing practitioner, an Ayurvedic practitioner, the East Indian system of healing, and a number of other healing systems that I utilize, I know the importance of this and I've seen the results of this. So this existed and these systems existed before our modern example of medicine and the modern educational system for doctors. I'm not discrediting anything that the doctors do, and I'm not going into that lane. I'm saying that from a spiritual, mental, and holistic perspective of our healing process, this is what must take place if we're going to be completely healed. And I'm seeing the results of people who go through the process of healing the body and leaving the mind and the spirit in a state of unwellness. So this is something that we want to look at, particularly during this time when there is a need and a call for healing, and a need and a call for spiritual understanding, and a call for a new focus on what we've been doing and the direction we need to be moving in right now. I want to say this also. Individuals who consider themselves healing practitioners or what have you, this is the time that that information needs to come forward. Okay, if you consider yourself a healer, an herbalist, a holistic practitioner, or what have you, and you don't have anything to say during this time, then you really need to look at what it is that you're practicing and what it is that you're aligning with. Because if not now, then never. So it's time for those individuals who have something to say that is of substance, that is not carrying the same party line information and going through the same old outdated methods that are not working anymore. Now is the time for that information to come forward. And that's kind of what we're bringing forth with this Mound Building Monday on today. Obviously, this is just a brief overview. For deeper information, you just reach out to me, give me a call, give me a text, and we can go a little bit further with it. But the point is, address yourself on the spiritual level, address yourself on the mental level, and then begin to look at those physical diseases and illnesses that you're experiencing and move to address that also, because now is the time for healing. If not now, then never.